Hello, and we're back. Today we will be working on a spoiler series, Light My Firebird. Very cool car. I have a whole bunch of the spoiler series. One day we'll do a whole thing on each one of that I've restored over the past year and a half. This one's really a cool one, you know. Got exposed motor, got a cut down windshield, typical front and lower front and rear spoilers on it. It's not in all that bad a shape. So let's go ahead and tear into this bad boy, see what we got. Okay, here we are with it fully assembled. Got the holes drilled out, put the smaller of the self-tapping screws in there, and the body doesn't look too terribly bad. I mean, it's got some corrosion and stuff around there. It's definitely got to go into zinc plater, but overall, so far, it doesn't look too bad. Got some kind of weird gunk up here in the engine compartment. Motor's good shape. It's got some kind of stuff on it from probably 40 years ago. Interior's in nice shape. Just needs a good cleaning. I have no cracks in the windshield, but I got a little, probably a gravel dent right there, since it is a convertible top. I'm gonna try to wet sand that out when I do the windshield. Base got the usual corrosion, and I'm gonna have to do some straightening on these axles there. This wheel's way up in the air, and these are kind of wobbled. We'll just cut them off and straighten them up. So I guess we'll get over to the paint stripper over there. Alrighty, here we are at the stripper sink. Let's go ahead and dunk this old Firebird in the paint stripper. Good old Rust-Oleum aircraft stripper, that is. Give it a dunk, shake off the excess, and now let's watch what happens. Shouldn't take long at all for that one to come undone. As you probably guessed, Firebirds are probably one of my favorite cars. I've owned quite a few over the years since I was a teenager, which was a long time ago. And like I say, I have a fondness for Firebirds. Wish I would have kept a couple of them, but like everything else, life comes along and the cars go away. But they do come back, let me tell you. If they want to, they will come back. They did with me. That's a whole other story in itself. But this stuff should start to be falling off. Let's see. Get close. Oh yeah. Give it another few seconds. This stuff doesn't quite lift when you dunk it like the others do. This stuff comes off so easy though. Go ahead and give it a wash off. Oh yeah. Falls right off. My goal is to eventually have a nice full collection of spoilers from that era that I restored. Those are just so cool looking. I think there's only one that I'm really not concerned about, and I think they call it like the Evil Weevil or something. I don't know. It's a weird looking Volkswagen Beetle. I love Volkswagen Beetles and Carmen Gias and all that stuff. But this one just looks kind of stupid. So, custom VW I had was really cool. I did in magenta, which is an awesome color. for a Hot Wheels. It's not really pink, but it's not really purple, and it's not really red. It's kind of in between everything. It looks really cool. Oh, there you have it, nice and clean. This baby's definitely going in the zinker. See me back over at the workbench. Okay, we are back from the sink. I run some triple aught steel wool all over this bad boy, and it's got a fair amount of pitting. I'm gonna see what I can do with zinc plating it. I think it'll come out okay. I've had them like this before, and like I say, it takes a little bit of time, but I can get it. So let's see what it looks like after I zinc it a couple times. Okay, and we're back. Word to the wise. Do not forget to leave your car in the zinc plater while you're shooting other parts to other videos for other cars, and leave it in there too long, because you'll be sanding your frickin' ass off for 2 hours like I was. So I got the old Light My Firebird ready for paint. She's nice and shiny, no more toning, no more pitting, a super duper super coat of zinc plating, which was a pain in the ass tonight, but I got it sorted. We're going to go back to the good old Redline Shop Spectraflame Red. I haven't shot red in over a year, because this was the very first Spectraflame. Well, no, I'm sorry, purple was the very first Spectraflame color that I bought, but I bought purple and red as my first two colors, and I love this red. So it was originally red, so we'll put that in there, and we'll throw some of this Redline Shop hardener in with this to make this paint job rock hard, so it will not get flea bites unless you really just chuck it across the room. So let's go paint this baby. Okay, here we are at the paint booth. Throwing a little Spectraflame Red into the airbrush. Then we got the Redline Shop hardener. About 16, 17 of those bad boys. We are ready to rock and roll. White now, black or thinner. Is anything left on there? Don't want no fish eyes on the Firebird. Ventilation down here, got the window or the door open with the fan sucking the air out, plus my exhaust fan on here. Hopefully that'll keep the smell out of the upstairs, because these urine things stink to high heaven. Bubble up a little bit. All right, okay, we're ready to rock and roll. Light tack coat all the way around. Light My Firebird from the Explorer series. They come up with some snazzy names there, mimicking the Doors song Light My Firebird. There's a lot of paints out there that are really good. Just a couple of my buddies on YouTube here are doing Createx, which gives you some really wild effects, pearls, candies. It looked beautiful. Just not quite sold on it yet. I like to stick to my old tried and true urethanes from the Redline shop and my Tamiya paints for my matchboxes for my enamels. And I got some of the Redline shop urethane regular. Like I think I did some plum already. It flowed out really beautiful. So maybe in the future I'll try some of that, but for right now I stick to what I know. And I know I can get good quality paint jobs with this stuff. But I will like to try that in the future. On a custom, but for these old red lines, I like to go ahead and just use the good old Spectre flame. She's getting nice and deep red now. Beautiful color. Let that sit on there. Throw down a wet coat. But like my Firebird, man. I love these Firebirds. I gotta do a good job. I gotta do them justice, man. I've had some of these in the past. I've been a Pontiac fanatic my whole life. So gotta do a good job on them. I'm sure they got the name, like I said, from the Doors song "Light My Fire." Speaking of Jim Morrison and the Doors, was whacked out of his skull as he was. I think one of the record labels gave him, of all things, it's either a 67 or a 68 Shelby GT 500 in blue with, I think, a 428 and a 4-speed, if I'm not mistaken. Heard stories that he wrecked it quite a few times, and the big hunt is trying to find that thing. In this day and age, it's probably in a scrapper somewhere. Some say he wrecked it on the Sunset Strip and left it there where he wrecked it. Some say it was at LAX in the parking lot for a couple of years. Who knows? But there's a video on YouTube of him running the living shit out of it in the middle of the desert, some kind of little short movie. You can look it up. Beautiful car. I think that's just where I want to be. What do you think? That's a beautiful red. Spectre flame just makes it shine. Okay. Good enough. Yep, flow it out there. I hate to waste this stuff. But there you have it. Okay, here we are with all the bits and pieces to the Light My Firebird. We have the base, which I have cleaned up really nice and stuck it on my big bench buffing wheel, cleaned it up real good, used my paint pen for the back and for the front. I usually paint the grills in with satin black, but I didn't feel like taping it off tonight. Got all the axles nice and straight because they were bent using my Redline tool, which is right here. Everybody who does Redlines usually has one. And for these spoilers, one of the nice things about it, there's 3 different sizes of these Redlines. They usually have on some of them, this is the large rear, and then they have a smaller one, but then they have the larger rear on the spoilers. So and use the other ones for the fronts. So we'll just stick these on here. Stick your axle on there. Try not to bend the little axles when you do this, and then you can kind of see how they kind of bow in a little bit. We can kind of give them just a little bit of a straightening. Maybe that one needs a little bit more. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, we'll do the same for the front. I usually try to stick it on just a little bit, and then I use the tool to push it on. Sometimes I use my fingers to straighten them, and sometimes I just use the tool. Just a combination of both, but I try to do it before I put the car together. Look at that. Big and smalls. The way it should be from back in the day. Okay, well, how about that? Knock your tripod over, why don't you? Alrighty. This is, if I can get this on here. There we go. Now I got it. Now I'll just do a little bit of some. These old torsion springs have a tendency to want to, I guess you say, toe in there on the bottoms. When they sit, that's pretty good. So, got the motor all nice and shiny. And what I do my bright work with is the old trucker's polish, which is WAB, gray metal polish. You get it anywhere they sell like big rig stuff. Good stuff. That's what they clean the big aluminum wheels on the trucks. And I use it on my real cars too. But like I say, we got this tapped here. We got the nice, pretty base or pretty body. All nice and shiny, no toning whatsoever. Zinc plating is a major, major game changer when you're restoring vintage red lines. Makes it so much easier. I am not going to take a chance in scratching that paint. Try to reset this here. Yeah, that goes in. Alrighty. Kind of hard to do it on camera with your camera in front of you. There we go. There we are. Nice and shiny. Okay. I had one little nick in the windshield that I could not get out, and if I can get the damn thing to focus, there you see it right there at the top. It's only if you look at it from the backside, so I'm not really too concerned about it. I'm not going to spend on a new windshield right now. I got other ones that need windshields worse than this one that are coming up, but these are my favorite ones to restore just because they look so damn cool. They're hot rods, and it was from a little bit before my time, and now I can actually own a complete set by buying junkers and fixing them up, because the original ones are too damn expensive. And I think, at least in my opinion, I know the purists would probably thumb their noses up at it, but when they are in my showcase, They look a hell of a lot brighter than than an original one, especially with these modern paints. It's just they're just damn beautiful. So I would rather restore my own and save a hell of a lot of money and sink my money into something a little bit more realistic, like bikes. So there we have it. Let me put it on the turntable. Well, here you have it. The 1969 casting of a 67 or 68 Firebird called Light My Firebird from the Spoiler series, done in Spectre Flame Red. And as you can see, they're lint magnets. And I'm missing I need to get a white stripe to put along the bottom there. I just didn't have a chance to get one yet. So, but like I say, I mean, as you can see, it shines just like a brand new penny. It's got all the, you know, all the toning gone out of it. No corrosion spots. That's just basically a candy color over a polished freshly zinc plated body. So, like I say, if you like what I'm doing, hit subscribe and tell your friends, because I got more of these to come, and more customs, and then more Matchbox restorations. And I like this, and we do some super fast too. I like to think that we're making super fasts cooler, one car at a time, because back in the day they weren't really that cool. But like I say, we are now. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Good night.